Hi there, welcome to BoxPred. Thank you for listening. Let's take a look at the fight between Joseph Parker and Dereck Chisora, which is coming up. Joseph Parker has 29 wins, 2 losses, 21 stoppages to his name. He's an orthodox fighter, going up against Dereck Chisora, who has 32 wins with 11 losses, 23 stoppages to his name, also listed as an orthodox fighter. Now this is a rematch, a direct rematch. They fought each other last time out, with Joseph Parker taking the split decision. So, in a nutshell, how did the first fight go? Well, Dereck Chisora put Joseph Parker down with a right hand very early on, within the first 10 seconds I think it was. And Joseph Parker was caught with that right hand on occasion throughout the fight, okay, from round 1 to round 12. He didn't really find an answer to nullify that looping right hand. So Dereck Chisora had good early success. He was throwing good body shots, and he was pushing the pace, being the aggressor, pressurising Joseph Parker and pushing him back onto the ropes quite a lot. As the fight wore on, Joseph Parker found his feet a bit. I thought Joseph Parker looked the fresher of the two going into the latter rounds. Dereck Chisora did seem to be blowing a lot from the mid-rounds onwards. Such was the pace that he was trying to keep up, and we know this with Dereck Chisora, he does push a pace in fights. But Joseph Parker was able to land some clean shots. He was able to put some good combinations together at times. All in all, there wasn't that much to pick between the two guys, and it was a close fight. Okay, I want to mention something. I thought Dereck Chisora at times, particularly early in the fight, was fortunate not to be deducted points because of hitting after the referee called stop, and also for punches behind the head. So it's just something to consider going into this rematch. If he fights the same way, and if he comes up against a stricter referee on the night, that could be a possibility that he gets points deductions. I'm just going to mention that. So let's look at Dereck Chisora. As I mentioned, in the first fight, he had some good body work, particularly in the first half of the fight. He was still going to the body in the second half, but I felt he dropped off a little bit. And this fight, I would like to see him keep going with those body shots. He needs to push the pace, move forward, pressurise Parker, work the body, look for that right hand. I liked some of the jabs that Chisora was coming in with early in the fight, and I'd like to see that last a bit longer in this fight, because he got some success working his way in with like these straight little pot jabs, and he was able to work straight to the body then as well. Now Joseph Parker, for me, has more room for improvement in this fight than does Dereck Chisora. The way Joseph Parker defended in that first fight, the way he engaged, was far too late. He was giving up ground to Chisora, he was inviting pressure, and by the time Chisora starts throwing, it's too late for you really, because then the risk is there. Parker had some success at times, but his better success, the times he hurt Chisora, or it seemed like he hurt Chisora, was when he was on the front foot throwing straight shots. Now I've been preaching about straight shots recently, but I think that's borne fruit in the fights we've seen. You look just for example how Conor Benn stopped Chris Algieri on the weekend, straight shots. They are the key against a fighter like Dereck Chisora. Parker needs to be more proactive with the jab in this fight. At the start of a sequence, Parker needs to come in early with the jab, and he needs to throw some shots behind it. That way he stops Dereck Chisora getting momentum from the off. Now you're not going to be able to do that for 12 rounds constantly, but you're going to win more points off it. You're going to look better off it to the judges. You're going to throw Dereck Chisora off his game a bit, and there were times when Parker hit Chisora in that fight, and Chisora calmed down a little bit. He wasn't coming in so strongly because he felt those straight shots. He felt that power. So Parker needs to engage more proactively. He needs to be quicker in each sequence. He needs to initiate the sequences rather than allow Dereck Chisora to gain that front footing. Okay? And in defence, he did well to circle away from the right hand, but you need to mix up your defensive strategy. When you know the punch that's the danger, yes, move away from it. Yes, you can lean away from it. But inevitably, if you're using the same defence every time, the guy who's trying to get you with that one shot is going to try and make some slight adjustments, and he will catch you with it, and we saw that in the first fight. Parker did get caught with that right hand even in the 12th round. So what I'd like to see Parker doing in this fight is a bit better lateral movement in the opposite direction. So when Chisora throws, it's not like it's a quick lead hand, it's a looping right hook. So I see no reason why Parker can't slip that hook. Move to the right. If you see the punch coming and you got the opportunity, slip under the hook and then punish Chisora, because that will open up Chisora. Chisora will then be exposed. So I'd like to see a little bit of a switch up in defensive strategy from Parker in this fight, and a little bit more proactivity. Now, the question is, and I think how this fight goes, is whether he makes those adjustments, whether he finds a way to nullify Chisora and to make it an easier fight for himself. Because when you see the best outside fighters, as the fight wears on, and especially in rematches, they tend to take more control. The very best of them actually take full control and end up hurting the other guy. So we're going to see what Parker's really made of in this rematch against Chisora. I think because there's that room for improvement, and because we had a close fight the first time round, I think that Joseph Parker takes a decision in this fight. I think that, as with all heavyweight fights, there is a danger from both guys to hurt the other. We've seen that Dereck Chisora can hurt Joseph Parker if he lands a good shot on him. This is a really competitive fight, but I try not to sit on the fence with my channel. I try to pick winners and decisive winners, and I'm going to go with Joseph Parker to win by decision. I'm going to go with him having made the necessary improvements and to nullify Dereck Chisora a bit more in this fight and to take a bit more control, particularly as the fight goes on. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. Thank you for tuning in. This is BoxPred. I'm out.